Hello everybody, this is Callie with Beautifully Inspired. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be doing some shower steamers, something that I get asked to make all the time in my shop, and I do keep them in my shop on a regular basis. But this is a special one that we're going to do. We're going to do a menthol crystal shower steamer, and I'm going to show you how I prep that menthol crystal, and we are actually going to do a double batch because we have a huge thing going on this weekend. We have Prairie Days out in Yelm, and it's a huge deal, and we are going to be slammed, and I want to make sure I have enough because I've had so many requests for these that I want to make sure I have enough for either for the season or for that day, depending on how many sales that we get. So I'm going to turn this down. We're going to start filming this, and we're going to show you how I make these. I'm not going to give you the exact recipe because you could actually modify any recipe that you have. I'm going to give you actually, you know what? Why don't I just give you the basic recipe? They're easy to make. You can get this recipe anywhere on the internet. I did, and then I modified it slightly. So I'm going to give you my recipe. And this is really good for clearing up our sinuses, opening up our lungs, and really helping our bodies to heal, because we are going to be using a 100% therapeutic grade essential oil, and we are using eucalyptus today. And eucalyptus is really, really good, especially if you have asthma or bronchial issues in your lungs or in your sinuses. It's really good for clearing up the mucus in your body. It's good for helping your body to heal if you have a cold or bronchial or asthma or let's see what other infections, because eucalyptus is really good. It's an antibacterial, antiviral, so it will really help clear you out. And so I have had multiple requests for these, and I just honestly have not had time to make them, so we're going to make them today. So first off, we're going to measure off our crystals, and the normal recipe I have is a poly 80 along with cocoa betaine and water is my normal mix that I use in my bath bombs, but we are not going to use that mix. We are actually going to use 99% alcohol, rubbing alcohol, or in this case I use isopropyl alcohol, which I feel works the best. And then we're going to use these menthol crystals. Now I get these crystals from Crafter's Choice. You can get menthol crystals anywhere. They're really really easy to find. I just happened to place an order with them a while back, and so I got some. And we are going to measure this out to 0.45, maybe, if I can get this to work, 0.45 ounces. That is not going to give me the right measurement here. Okay, so let's see if I can just do... See, that's way over already. Alright, I'm going to have to go back and remeasure this. Hold on a second. So it's supposed to be 0.45 ounce. Oh... Well, you know what? I'm going to do a 0.4. That might be the best. I'm going to measure this. My scale won't go to the 4.5, so we're just going to do up to where it says 4. Could I go to 5? I probably could. Let's just go to 5. We'll just do a little bit extra. That way I know for sure that it's right. You can use less or more. It's up to you on how you build your recipe. I'm just going to go ahead and go up to a little more to where this goes to 0.5 ounce. We'll make these really, really strong. There we go. So 0.5. So I'm going to use 0.5. Okay, let's measure this one out. I'm going to tear that out. Now these crystals will take about 10-15 minutes to dissolve themselves, so give it the time. And you want these crystals to be completely, there it goes, be completely covered. And how we do that, let me get my scale out of the way because I don't need to scale anything else here. All All right, so how we do this is we're going to pour the alcohol until it's just covered. And this is going to be the only, that might be a little bit more, and this is going to be the only, grab my little mixer. This will be the only liquid that we put in here. And these actually will evaporate off really quickly and they'll dry really fast. So they don't take that long to melt, especially the little ones like this. The bigger ones take a little bit longer to mix. Okay. We're just going to let these sit. I'm going to put these off to the side for a second, let those melt down. Because like I said, we're going to do a double recipe here. Sift this. Now, whenever you're making shower steamers, you don't have to sift them out. I just find that they work better if I do. You don't have to. You can literally just pour it all in there. In fact, you know what? I'll just do the dump and go for you guys and I'll show you what we're going to do here. Now, why am I doing these two batches separately? Well, I'm doing them separately because I want to make smaller batches, because when you're working with alcohol, it burns off faster in your recipe. So you definitely want to go, my buckets wasn't open. So you want to go a little bit on the lighter side. Now I'm using cornstarch in my recipe. You can use oatmeal, you can use just about anything in here. Now, because I'm using the menthol crystals, I do have to switch to the gloves, which I have a hard time wearing. So I'm coating my hands in my mix. It's just going to help keep my skin from getting, having that allergic reaction. It's not going to completely get rid of it, but it will help. Because I do, even though these are non-latex gloves, I still have a reaction to them. So I have to be really careful. All right, so let me get my gloves on. See, I've got gloves on today. And let's see, I need one more thing. I need my spoon for tapping. I'll grab that out because we want to have to tap this. And then I have my little molds that we're going to use. And all I'm going to do is mix this up really good. And I'm taking out all the lumps because I can feel them in my hands. And we're just going to break them down. With shower steamers, it really doesn't matter. They're not going in the bath. They literally just go right down your sink or into your clump there. They just go down your drain, so it's not a big deal. In the bathtub, I don't think you want clumps of stuff floating up on you. So, and it really makes it hard to make the bath bombs too. So whenever I do bath bombs with the same recipe, I just I do sift it because it does make a smoother batter. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, since this is batch 1, I'm going to add my eucalyptus. Now we are using 100% therapeutic grade essential oils of eucalyptus. This is 20 drops. You could certainly use a little more if you want to. I find that 20 drops with this works really, really good. It's a basic recipe. Okay, and it's really strong. This eucalyptus is super strong because it's therapeutic grade. And I do just mix it in here just to kind of incorporate it in. Spread it out. Oh, it smells so good. My lungs are going to love me today. I have asthma. Eucalyptus is really, really, really good for asthma, and I do use it quite a bit. All right, let's see how our crystals are doing here. For batch 1. Oh, see, these aren't quite there. And I'm not going to add colorant to these. I'm going to leave these plain colored. I could probably do a green mica. Let's see if I can find a really pretty green. Astro, I got it from Mad Micas if you're interested in that essential oil. Or, excuse me, not essential oil. Mica. Isn't that pretty? That'll look really good on there. So there's that. Mad Micas. It's called Astro. I don't know if they carry that name or color anymore. I don't buy my micas from them anymore. I just have a few that are left over. So, I would normally use a 1/4 teaspoon of mica. So we'll just do that. Get that that mixed in. Oh yeah, those are going to look really nice. These will probably be a little bit off colored because we're going to be using 2 different colors here. Oh, this room is smelling so amazing. And I'm breathing all of this in and my lungs are just opening up. They feel so good. I've had asthma my entire life since I was a little kid. I had, we actually discovered that I had asthma when I had really bad lung infection. I had pneumonia. I only had an inch left in my lungs. I almost died that night, and they discovered that part of the problem was my asthma. And I have suffered from asthma my entire life, and it was one of those things that I really controlled myself throughout my life. But then about, when was it? It's been about 11, 12 years now. I was on a hike with a friend of mine who ironically was a doTERRA rep. And she showed me a essential oil that really helped to open up my lungs because I had a major asthma attack. I hadn't had a major asthma attack in years. And it was just a simple little hike up a hill. It wasn't a big deal, but for whatever reason, my lungs didn't like it that day. And I came down that hill and I could not breathe. I had to sit down on the ground for a good, I don't know, it was a couple hours actually. But she gave me the essential oil blend of Breathe, and I had my lungs opened up within 30 seconds. It just completely opened up. But I had to sit and rest for a couple hours because I couldn't, my body had just shut down. But crisis over. The Breathe saved my life that day, but it had eucalyptus in it. And eucalyptus is really good to have on hand for breathing issues. If you ever have, if you're shortness of breath and you just feel like you can't get anywhere, take a real quick whiff of eucalyptus or tea tree. Tea tree will do the same thing, but eucalyptus is the best for that. And it opened my lungs up almost immediately. I was amazed. I was in shock at how quick that worked. Now, normally this alcohol would have been burned off fairly quickly. It just evaporates out. But because this is got the eucalyptus in it, it's not going to burn off as fast. And what I like about doing this recipe is the alcohol doesn't go away or evaporate real quickly, and I can make these bath bombs or these shower steamers really quick. You can do bath bombs with this, although I don't recommend with alcohol itself, but I don't recommend doing menthol crystals for bathing. They are harmful if you bathe in them, but they're okay down at your feet in your shower. Usually the best place is to put them on a ledge on the side of your bathtub if you have a bathtub in a shower, with a shower, or you can just put them at the base of your drain and put them there. I like to put them in between my feet because then the air, the vapors go up into my lungs faster. So they really help open up my lungs a lot. So it's really good. And that's how I recommend doing these particular ones, is put them down by your feet so the vapors can vapor up into your body and into your lungs faster. So, but anyway, you put these in there, it's up to you. It doesn't really matter. I said it takes about 10-15 minutes for these to crystal. If you're going to do these, I would let the alcohol and the menthol crystals rest in the alcohol prior to you starting on the base of your, let it sit there for a good 20 minutes and then you can do it. You can actually make a full base of it in advance and then just put 5 grams of your liquid into it, because that's really all it is. In fact, I'm going to measure this really quick. Or 0.5 ounces. I think this might make more than that. I'll have to measure it off for sure. In fact, now that I've got this measured, I should do that. Let me see if I can find my scale, and I'll measure this off for us so we can find out for sure what your liquid should be, because I want to be able to make this in advance. Let me get another container, and we're going to pour this into this and see what the actual weight is. And then that'll give you your weight for your clean one. That'll give us our weight that we need for our recipe. And this is the alcohol menthol crystal mix. All right, see there's a little bit in there still. Oh, come on, Mel. Close enough. There's a little bit there. Okay, so our measurement for this, the alcohol and the menthol crystals is, 1 full ounce. So if you have this made in advance, you'd need 1 ounce of liquid to go into this. And that's about what you want. So now that we know that, I can make this in advance. I should just pour this in here. And then work it from there. So it's 1 ounce of your menthol crystal mix. So that's good to know. 1 ounce. So that's easy to remember, and I will write that on my shower steamer recipe so I have it. All right, so now that is mixed. I'm just going to get my little mixer here just to help. Then you're just going to pour this in. I recommend drizzling it in just so it gets mixed up, and then you can get in there with your hands and mix it really good. Now, why am I not doing this with my hands and mixing it like I normally do? I don't want to do that today. I want my hands to be nice and clean, and I don't want the menthol to go completely into my skin. It's really not safe for me. Others might be able to do it without gloves, but I'm not going to. Okay, now that coloring turned out really good. It's a really pretty mint. So we're going to do that. You can add rosemary, mint. You can actually scent these if you wanted to. I'm not going to. This feels really good. Yeah, that is perfect. Look at that. That is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start molding these because this is ready to go. And all I'm going to do is lightly pack it in, level it off. Lay it on my table. Let me pull this over so you can see here. I have 2 put together, but I think we're only going to need 1. Okay, so here's this. And all I'm going to do is lay this on my table. I'm going to go tap, tap, tap. I'm going to lift this up. And there's my shower steamer. Now this is going to dry fairly quickly. So I should be able to, by this afternoon, package these up. But as a rule, I like to wait a full 24 hours. And I'm not packing them really heavy either. So, pull that on there. Tap, tap, tap. Lift up. Super easy to make. Okay. Another one. This recipe makes about 6 bath bombs. So you should get about 6. Ooh, that is very, very strong in here. I may have to open up my door or window or something. My lungs are super happy. I can breathe really well. Okay, I'm curious to find out because it looks like I may even have 7 of these. And I'm not packing them really hard. There we go. Yeah, it looks like my recipe's going to give me 7. Yeah, that recipe gave me 7. So, oh, and that one cracked. Let's see if I can put that back together. It may not. Well, we'll use this one as my sampler. Let's see if I can put that back together. It may not. No. That's okay. We'll just use that one as our sampler. It's not a big deal. So we would have had 7 had that one not cracked. So 7 bath bomb or shower steamers, which is really good for this recipe. I'm using a half of a 2.5 inch mold. These are the stainless steel ones. You can get these at any Amazon, or I think Walmart has them. You can get them almost anywhere. I recommend the stainless steel because they do form really well and they do come out of the molds easier. So there's that. So let's do the second set of recipe. real quick without breaking another one, because that was so easy to make. And my other recipe should be ready to go, so we should be able to just go right through this really quick. Okay, so 1 cup of baking soda, a 1/2 cup of citric acid, a 1/4 cup of cornstarch or arrowroot. You can do it either way. Oh, that is amazingly strong. Okay, so we're going to mix this in really good. Get that in. Make sure all the clumps are out. I'm just going to feel through. Hand sift this. You can definitely sift this. In fact, I highly recommend that you do. But you don't have to. Okay, let's add our little bit of mica in there. This might be a little bit more, but that's okay. Go ahead and mix our essential oil in. Get every drop. You can actually drop the essential oil directly in here. So I could have put 20 drops in here and been fine. It wouldn't have been an issue. Kind of clean up here real quick. Cover up this. Just cleaning up because I got a little crystal in there that's still not there. Alright, so mix that up a little bit. And yes, bath bombs are very, very messy. Don't be afraid to get in there and clean them up. As I always like to tease my kids when they were growing up. I'll clean up on aisle 25 or 10. It depended on my kids and what they wanted. Okay, let's see if this is ready to go here. Not quite, so let's sit and do this for a minute. So I think it looks like it's clear now. So let's go ahead and mix this up. Here again, drizzle in, always. It just helps prevent the reaction. Even though alcohol won't react, it just helps prevent it. And if you have another recipe that you're using, definitely drizzle your, don't just dump your liquids in there all at once. Mix them up a little bit at a time. Put it on the side. Okay, that's done. And now we'll just get this all mixed up here. And then we'll form those really quick. I might need that second table. Yeah, that 1 ounce of liquid is perfect. Okay. Let's get these formed because these are really good, ready to go. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, they're just a little bit on the darker side. Oh, uh-oh. That's okay. Cracked when I pulled it out. I don't think it was packed in all the way, but I don't want to pull it back. There it goes. I have to tell you, this is really, really strong, so make sure you have a really well ventilated area when you're making these, because they are very strong. Okay, so there's rack 1. There's my first rack. I'm going to put these on the shelf and get them out of my way here. Let those dry, and then I'll pull in my second one, and we'll put the rest in here. There's only going to be like 1 or 2 on here. Looks like there's only going to be 2 more. Okay, so there's one that didn't get mixed up, so I'll just mix it up really quick like that. Pack that in. And if you have a little bit extra in your mix and your mold is pretty full, just go ahead and pack it on top. It doesn't really matter. It may not be completely 100% flat, but it's not a big deal. I have a couple that bulge up. I believe in no waste, so I don't throw anything away, as you can see here in my bowl. I have as little waste as possible. Turn this around here so you can see. See, it's going to rock a little bit. That's okay. Tap, tap, tap. My goal is just to basically release it from the mold, if it will. There it goes. All right, so there you go. So there's 2 more of our racks. I'm going to put this over here to dry. We'll pull those out later. And we're done. A little cleanup. I always clean up my area afterwards really well. See if I can get a washcloth and wipe everything down really well. Now you can do, I wouldn't go any bigger than a 2.5 inch, but you can certainly do like these little tabs. These little ones work really well. This is the size that I used. It's 2.5 inches. It's a steel mold. This one is a 1 inch mold. Excuse me, 1 inch mold. So that's the difference between the 2 molds. Let me go over the recipe again. It's 1 cup baking soda, 1/2 cup citric acid, 1/4 cup of cornstarch or arrowroot, 1/4 cup of coloring. Mica is preferred. You can use any coloring you want to. I prefer mica because they are all natural. And then 20 drops of eucalyptus and 1 ounce of pre-made menthol mix, or 0.5 or 1/2 ounce of menthol crystals covered in alcohol to the top, and then you let that melt for about 10 minutes. You combine everything together, mix it up, mold it, and let it sit on your shelf for 24 hours. I would make sure you have more than enough ventilation in your room. It is really strong in here. And I am breathing very well right now, but I definitely can feel the overpoweringness of those menthol crystals, so make sure that you have a well ventilated area. I would even open up a window if it's going to be dry in your area and let them dry out. All right, there you have it, our menthol shower steamers with recipe. Thank you so much for joining me. That popped in my face. I shouldn't have done that. You have it. We're all done. Thanks everybody for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button, and don't forget to leave a comment or a question down below if you have one. Thanks everybody. Bye.